we'll get started. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm Stacey. You just heard a little bit more about me. So I'm here to teach you the bear drawing that some of you have seen, and you'll see it again in a minute. I'll show it off before we get started. A couple things when we are drawing, you're going to need a pencil with an eraser. We'll draw everything in pencil first, and then you got that? Perfect. And then you'll need, or you don't have to have, but I outline everything in pen. So I'll do it in pencil and then I'll outline it in pen before I color. So a black pen, a black marker, a black crayon. And then you need something to color with. I use colored pencils, but you can use pens, you can use crayons, you can not color it. So one thing I like to point out is, you know, while we're drawing this bear and we've made him a chef and he's holding this bowl of spaghetti, you don't have to draw him like that. If you want to make your own adjustments to the drawing, you can. If you want to draw it and not outline it, you can. If you want to draw it but you don't want to color it, you can. So there are really no rules here. This is more about, you know, kind of just having fun and doing something different. If you have questions, I am going to mute everyone. Everyone is pretty much muted at this point anyway, except for Bill, who I'm sure is going to just talk our ear off the whole time. But you can unmute yourself. So if you have a question, don't use the chat feature. I would rather you unmute and ask me, because I sometimes don't see the chat part while I'm drawing. And then, well, I do like when you keep your cameras on. You don't have to, I know not everyone does, but if a couple people do, it's helpful because then I know when to move to the next step. Because if I see a lot of this, if I see like the top of your head, you're probably looking down at your paper drawing. So I'll move on when you're looking up. All right, so everybody good? Good to go? Okay, let me turn on my light and I'm gonna rotate my camera a bunch of different ways. And then I'll show you what we're doing today. So here is our bear, our chef bear. He's holding a bowl of spaghetti with his chef hat on. And like I said, when I teach drawing, you don't have to be a super skilled artist. I get drawers of all ages and all abilities. And what I do, which is why I say have a pencil and eraser, is we layer lots of shapes. So we're gonna put shapes in and then we're gonna draw something else on top of it and erase. So we kind of break it down into a bunch of different steps to try to make it easier for everybody. So let's get started. So the first step for this bear is we're going to do his head. So up kind of more in the upper section of your paper, just draw kind of an oval-ish shape. For his head. It can even be more circular, but just a round type of shape. And then for his body, we're going to do, think of like the bottom half. Does everyone know what a piece of candy corn looks like? Kind of that curved edge triangle. That's what we're going to do for his body. So I'm going to do a line off of the side of his head, and I'm going to come down and out, curve it over this way, and then curve it back up. So it's a little more narrow here at the top than it is at the bottom, but we're going to actually add some arm into this space later anyway. And if you don't like a line, like right now, this looks really curved to me on my paper and it looks more squared here. I just come in and make any little adjustments to that line I want to make, and then erase whatever I put down first. So you can always make those little tweaks to your drawing to make it a little more even or matched up if you feel like something isn't looking quite right. Okay, now for his legs, I'm going to come out from this side right before it curves down, and I'm going to bring a line in. See how I'm coming towards the middle section. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So on this side, I'm going to come out and then bring it back in. And if you don't feel like you made these lines about the same length, one thing you can do is just take your eraser and just kind of go across the page like this and just even them up. Like almost draw a line with your eraser to even up those end points. Now we're going to put in a foot. So off of this bottom corner, I'm going to do like a hot dog shape, the tip of a hot dog. And then from this line, you're going to curve back up into the body. So now we've given him one leg and a foot. And on this side, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to make that hot dog shape. Make it about the same size as you did on the other side, and then curve it up into the body. And now these lines that are going into his leg, you can erase those now. So you don't need that line anymore. That was just there as a guide to get started. Okay, so next up, let's go to an arm. So both of the arms are going to start in this corner where the head meets the body. And I'm going to draw a line coming out for the first arm. And then this line is going to curve back in to the body. And for that bear paw, I'm just going to make this curved off. It's a little bit kind of curved square edge. So there's paw and arm number one. And we'll erase this line right here. Same thing over here. We're going to have this arm line that comes out. We're going to curve it and bring it back into the body. And then make that kind of squared off curve shape. And then erase this body line. And if you're seeing, you know, if you're erasing and you're still faintly seeing the line, don't worry about it because we're going to color right over the top of it and hide anything we might be seeing. Now to give these a little bit more of that paw appearance, I just like to put lines inside. So I'll put one in the middle and then one on each side. So we get those little paw, giving it like fingers. And I'll do the same down here on the feet, 3 little lines. Actually, I think on the feet, I'm just gonna do 2, it fits better. And now I want to put his bowl. So I'm going to have this time, his bowl is actually going to be held by both arms. I know the drawing you saw was a little bit different. So I'm just doing kind of a slightly curved line between the 2 paws. And then below, you'll have a bigger curved line. So it has that bowl look to it. I'm going to do the meatballs first. So I'm going to do these wavy little line or little kind of circular shapes. You could do a bowl of anything you wanted though. So if you don't want to do spaghetti and meatballs, you want to do something else, you can do that too. So I'm just going to put 3. And then for the spaghetti, I'm going to do a wavy line that comes up from the paw. This meatball, you have to decide which of your meatballs are on top of your spaghetti and which ones are inside. And you just do that wavy line. If you get to a meatball stop, pick it up on the other side. So now see, I have a bowl. I have this pile inside. And we'll do spaghetti lines when we go in with our pen, because we're just basically going to put lines going one direction and another and just fill the space. And we don't have to do that with our pencil. We'll go in and I'll show you how to do that with your pen. So we'll let everybody get caught up. And then when you're all ready, we'll work on his face and his hat. Oh, see? You getting it. I see it. All right, so for his little necktie, I'm actually right on top of this line, the space line, so I'm actually going to end up kind of erasing that a bit. I'm going to draw a rounded rectangle right in the middle. I'll go ahead and just erase this face line out. The little ties of the necktie, they look kind of like teardrops or leaves. So you're just curving to a point and then curving back up. So curving to a point, it's like an upside down teardrop. See that? And the one little trick to make it look like it's tied in a knot is you just add a little line inside of each, right where the rectangle is, just coming out inside, and then it gives it that little creased look. And then from there, you just go from the top of the rectangle, go up to the face, and then from towards the bottom, go over towards, it actually ends up kind of on his arm. Just like that. Now let's put, for his face, we're going to draw another oval, pretty big, inside of the face. And above that oval, you'll do two little circles, one to the right and one to the left for his eyes. He just has simple little circle eyes. Everyone doing good so far? Yeah, thumbs up. All right. So the nose is going to live inside of this oval, and it's big. Bears have that big black nose. So I'm just taking and working off of this top line. I'm going to curve into the oval and then back up. So all of this upper space, I'm going to make his nose. And I'm going to do two little skinny ovals inside, and those are the portions I'm going to leave white for the nostrils. So see that almost is like a borderlines on a pig nostril. If I was doing a pig, I would do this shape and go up and down and make it bigger. And then for his mouth, you're just gonna do a simple line that comes down from the middle of his nose, and it's gonna curve to one side and curve to the other. So he has a smile, and now you've given him the nose, you've given him his two cheeks from his snout and his little chin, just by making those two little curved lines. If you wanna give him some little like freckles on his cheeks, you can. You could put some little dots in there. And lastly, we just have the chef hat and then one ear. He's gonna have one ear showing. So to start the chef hat, has everyone done like a cloud in a sky before? Like you just kind of do a curved line and then another curve and another curve, and you just kind of make this bubbly, looks like a cloud. You do that first, just kind of floating up above his head. And then from this little cloud, I'm going to draw a line that comes in and a line that comes in onto his face. And then this is going to have a slight, I'm going to make this one a little bit wider. And it's just going to have a slight curve to close it off. And then you'll erase any of the head that's inside of it. And now you have his little chef hat. And a bear would have two ears, right? But one ear is going to be hidden behind the hat. So you're not going to see this ear. We're just going to see this ear over here. And I'm just going to do a little half circle for his ear. And that is our bear. So what I do now is I outline everything in pen, but what I'm going to show you guys first is that spaghetti. So I'm going to outline these meatballs first. I'll go ahead and put that top line of my bowl in. I'll put the wavy spaghetti line up at the top. And then for the spaghetti, all I do is I'm just gonna do kind of like little worm shapes. So I'm gonna try to keep them all about the same width. And so I might have one going this way, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do one angling down right here. Because you know, spaghetti gets all woven inside itself. And then maybe one here, but then it's gonna get cut off by some going this way. So I'm just weaving these wiggly, wormy lines. And there's no right or wrong way here. So see how I did that? I just kind of made this woven pattern by making some of them long, some of them are really short, some look like they're going behind, some are on top. And you just kind of do that through the whole bowl. You can also kind of change direction. Maybe one comes all the way across this way. It's like a patchwork of noodles. And there we go. There's my wavy bundle of spaghetti. And then on my meatballs, I like to put some little dots for the texture or the spices that are inside. And then beyond that, I am just at this point going to outline all the rest of the drawing. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us. These eyes on the bear, I'm just going to color those in black. You can make them a color if you want. And then same with the nose. I'm going to color the nose in black. I'm just going to leave these two little ovals white. And I left just a little bit of the center line inside of the leg because I think it gives more of a belly look. And then once you have everything outlined, you can go through with an eraser and erase all of your pencil marks. And when you're drawing just for yourself, you're drawing for fun, like I'm kind of teaching you and showing you, so I have to make those pencil marks really dark so they show up on the camera for you. But typically, if I'm just drawing for myself, I make those pencil marks really light, just enough so I can see them. And then when you erase them, there is nothing on the page. It literally just looks like you drew it all in pen. And then we just start to color. And you guys can definitely unmute yourselves now. So if you want to chit chat with each other, you're welcome to do that. We're kind of just all coloring at this point, or if you have any questions for me. One thing I did with the bear when I colored him brown, kind of a lighter color brown. And then I went back in with a couple other darker browns and made like little dash marks. And I'll show you that in just a second. And that just gives the bear a look of fur. So it's a way to make something look kind of hairy or furry. So see how there's all these like little texture? That's just, I colored in one color and then I took a darker brown and made all of these little marks on top of that. I also am going to do kind of red towards the top of this bowl and then like more of that light noodle color at the bottom so it looks like sauce is kind of poured on top. And you can have your bear standing on something. You can do background, maybe he's in a kitchen. So you can definitely add other things into your drawing if you want to elaborate it. And the fun thing is once you know how to draw this bear, you can draw it again and you can make it all sorts of characters. I've done this bear before as a ballerina and just put a tutu on him. You could make him a nurse or a doctor bear.
And this is being recorded, so we will have this up on the PIA YouTube channel. So if you need a refresher or you want to go ahead and show a friend how to do it, you can totally do that. And I'll send everybody a link to that YouTube channel once we've got it up.
I'll send it to you right after.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
It's the Zoom sends me a link as soon as we finish the video.
Perfect. Funny, I'm using crayons this time.
Uh-huh.
Now that school has started, all of my office supplies have disappeared. I have no idea where they may have gone, but anyway. So I decided to use crayons, and crayons are a lot harder to use. It's kind of amazing that little kids can draw as well with them as they can.
I know. I never use crayons.
I can't stay in the lines.
Yeah. It's like the staying in the lines and the you know, just the amount of it's fine to me when you are doing an animal because you want that kind of texture look, but the amount of like white that shows if you're not pushing hard, like all of those things. But oh wait, I missed it. Let's see.
Very
awesome job. Very good.
Whose is that one? That's awesome.
That was Elizabeth. The kids are working on theirs. They've made them into many different costumes already.
Oh, that's awesome. Good.
Right away.
Mine is a fashion model.
Very nice.
And then
Yeah, I've done this bear as a ballerina, and you just put one arm up. Like I drew the arm upwards so it kind of looks like it's dancing. I've done it as a camper, and it had a tent in the background and
Ooh, that'd be fun.
wore a backpack. You can do lots of fun things. It's a pretty simple bear to draw once you get the hang of it.
So Hensel family, have you guys done Draw with Stacey before?
what?
Have you guys done Draw with Stacey before, or is this your first time doing it?
No. Jesse, what was that?
Awesome.
Well, welcome.
Yeah, you guys took to it like a duck does to water.
And like I said at the beginning, if you like it and you want to do it more, there are at this point now over 100, I think it's about 120 drawing videos. And they're on Facebook. There's a Facebook group where we draw live, but then they're also on YouTube. So you can just search Draw with Stacey on YouTube and you'll find all the videos there.
Cool.
And we do everything: Disney characters, superheroes, animals, fun foods, dogs.
There we go. There's a real bed.
So see, now that I've colored them all in, I'm just going and pushing harder and just making little dashed lines right on top of what I just colored to give kind of a furry look. So tell me about your group.
So the Pacific Italian Alliance is a small nonprofit located in Stockton, and our focus is on sharing the wonders of Italian culture and heritage.
Okay.
So we have a really large group of Italians that live in the San Joaquin Valley, and especially in the northern San Joaquin Valley. And so we do all sorts of fun stuff. In the non-COVID world, we would have a big Italian festival in June. We get about 5,000 people that attend over the course of a single day. And it's got music and art and food and all sorts of fun stuff. And then when we're not working on that, we have a whole bunch of other events. Like we have a dinner that usually happens in October of each month or of each year. And it's actually free for our members and it's really inexpensive for our non-members. And then we do a whole bunch of different cultural stuff. Like we've had movie nights, we've had concerts, we do an awards dinner every other year that recognizes an outstanding Italian or somebody who's made a contribution to the Italian community. So it's basically anything that has to do with local Italian culture, that's us. We have an Instagram page, we have a Facebook page as well, and now we have a YouTube channel. Woo! So it's actually lots of fun. We wrote a book about local Italian culture that is super neat because, you know, there's been so many contributions.
Oh, look at that one. Is that your fashion model?
Oh, there's your fashion model there. Gotta love it. I like the heel.
I'm done.
I went
Has
straight.
the legs crossed. That's pretty cute.
Thank
I didn't
you.
get inventive.
I like the creativity.
That's always the best part.
It really is.
And so in the COVID world, of course, we're always trying to find new
You
fun.
can do other versions. They kind of went for it.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Oh, wait, but is that, let's see. Is that like a mermaid version?
Or Rapunzel, more like
Or
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel?
This is my hair.
Ah.
Totally. Here, let me show you. To the drag queen.
I love it.
Here. Show yours.
Very neat.
Very nice. Good job, girls.
Yeah, creative.
Very good. Okay.
Someone left them.
I will say the crayon is pretty good for the
Oh, for a second I saw it.
so
The what? The crayon's good for what?
fur. The crayon kind of went with that whole fur thing.
Yeah, it does. And it goes faster too. Like pencils. It took me a long time to get into pencils even because just the time. It takes more time to color. You have a much smaller surface area. I was always a pen person when I first started drawing.
Put up our drawings over here, you guys?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't even need to put two.
So you were saying, what have you done since COVID though? How are you having to alter
We're being
things?
pretty creative. So we had one of our members do a cooking class. He showed everybody how to make sausage, homemade sausage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, complete with a recipe, and then you got to watch him make it so that you can do it at home if you want. And then we've done this. And in October, we actually have a lecture about, or not lecture, that's the wrong word, like a question and answer with the author who helped us write our book about Italian history, local Italian history. So if you have anybody in the area who is got Italian heritage, chances are you could ask questions and learn a little bit more about that. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, very neat.
Yeah. we're also working on doing a virtual wine tasting, and actually a wine and cheese tasting, and we're also hopefully very soon going to be able to start planning our drive-through dinner. So I'm excited about it.
Oh, neat. That's very fun. Yeah, we've done, there's a local winery that was doing, they did 6 wine tastings. They were very fun. It was like, it was just, you know, a live video, and you'd pull it up and you'd kind of just drink along with them while they talked about the wine. And
That's
it was
our plan.
great.
That is our plan. So I'll have to get a little more information from you and see what your feedback is on that, because we're inventing everything as we go. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's what you have to do right now. I think, you know, and the more creative you get with it,
Mm-hmm.
it's the more successful it is.
Exactly. Well, and you know, nobody can say that we're not creative anymore and inventive anymore, because we
Yeah.
definitely. There we go. Oh, I like the idea of the muzzle being a slightly different color.
Yeah, it makes it stand out. I usually always do, especially when I'm doing these like furry dashes, you know, I'll just kind of pick up one of the colors. There we go. There's our little Italian chef bear.
There we go.
Thank you for showing us how to draw this bear.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Make sure you write your name on your art.
And if you want to send me a picture of it, I'd love to see the pictures.
We'll send all the pictures to Andrea.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, you too.